and welcome to this week's edition of A Walk in My Shoes. I'm your host, Rachel Perez, and I'm super excited for today's episode. So, today's special guest is Kindra O'Rielley, who is in the dental field. Hi, Kindra, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, yeah, absolutely. So, we'll go ahead and jump right in. So, can you just go ahead and introduce yourself and a little bit about what you do?
Sure. So again, my name is Kindra, and I have been in the dental field for several years now, working in dental offices, working with patients, taking care of them, and helping them with their dental health. And I realized how much I loved educating the patients about dentistry. And I got into lecturing around the country about different aspects of dentistry to dentists. And I was on and off an airplane a lot and wasn't at home with my family as much as I wanted to. So I started trying to think of how I could take that love and passion of dentistry, but also teaching dentistry, and do it as a career. So I opened up Assist to Succeed dental assisting schools. And we have a couple schools here in Ohio that I now direct and teach out of. We have fabulous instructors in both of the schools. And we take individuals, hopefully like you, that might be interested in finding more than just a job, but a career, and molding you into a dental assistant so that you can go out in the real world and have a career that you can be excited about and support your family with, and maybe continue moving up the ladder and becoming more in the dental office than just that dental assistant.
Wow, that's awesome. Wow. That's super. So can you tell us a little bit about what your week looks like, a typical week?
Absolutely. So, in the dental office, you have to understand there's as many dental offices and dental jobs out there as there are people. So, in the real world, we'll pretend it's a 9 to 5 job. That's what many people look for. But you can find jobs in a dental office. You can find jobs that are, 7 to 7, 7 days a week. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to work 7 to 7, 7 days a week, but maybe there's a little bit more flexibility for your hours. You could maybe do 3 7 to 7 tricks, and that's your week. You can maybe do 7 to 3 one day and 3 to 7 the next. So there's a huge variety. Usually, some offices will have an hour lunch break. I've heard of offices that will start at 6 in the morning and go straight through until 2 o'clock in the afternoon so that they can get
Wow.
off at 2. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the working mom or even the working dad that wants to get home to have the day with their kids, watch the sporting events, help them with homework, that's perfect. Even a 7 to 3 is great for that.
Right.
Um, they can obviously eat in between patients on little snacks. They just don't get that full hour lunch. So, um, I mean, if you can dream the job and the hours you want, I am telling you, there's an office out there that offers those if you're just willing to look long enough to find it.
Wow, that's awesome. So do you personally struggle with any sort of time management or you're good?
I'm a perfectionist, which I think most people in the dental field are. They're just, they love
Right.
teeth,
Oh
they
yeah.
like perfect teeth, and it just is over the world. So time management for me, in the dental office, you have to be there on time. If your first patient's at 8 o'clock, you don't show up at 8 o'clock with your Starbucks drink in your hand. You're usually there at 7:30, 7:40 in the morning, getting clocked in, getting your scrubs on, getting to your operatory, getting it set up so that you can get out there and get that patient at 8. So dentistry is a very you want to make sure that you're prompt and you're on time. You have a set amount of time with that patient for that procedure, and you want to try to be done in that amount of time. You don't want the next patient waiting, but the more you run over with patients, the longer you're not gonna get off at 5 o'clock or 3 o'clock. You're gonna be
Right.
running late getting off as well. So time management, I feel like in an adulthood, time management's necessary anyways, but in dentistry, it's definitely a field that helps you stay scheduled.
Gotcha. That's super good. So what does your team look like? And who do you report to?
Sure. So in a dental office, the team can be, dentistry. It used to be predominantly men were dentists. Now more and more women are coming in. myself, now that I teach the dental assisting school, we find that we have usually at least one male per class that goes through. So
Wow.
dental assisting itself, yeah, it's becoming, it's not male dominant, but we get men. And a lot of times those men are ones that they want to put their foot in the door with dental assisting to see if they like the field because they want to go on to become a dentist. So the field, I would say it's mainly women, but there's a good sprinkle of men out in there to kind of help lower the hormones. So, um, but no, it's a fun field. The dentist is typically, who we would report to. But if you're in a bigger office, they may have an office manager that kind of takes over and does the brunt of everything. So it may be an office manager you report to. Um, for dental assistants, they may have a lead dental assistant you report to. For dental hygienists, they may have a lead hygienist. So some offices will have kind of like a hierarchy, if you would, within them. And other offices that are smaller, it's, you just report to the dentist for what you need.
All right, that's awesome. So, tell me how you got to where you are today. Did you expect to get where you are today or no?
So I always knew I wanted to be in dentistry. I actually wanted to be a dentist, and I started when I went to school. I majored in dental hygiene. So a dental hygienist is the one who cleans individuals' teeth. And I kind of thought, well, if I start there, I'll get my foot in the door with dental field. I'll know if I like dental, so that I don't waste time going to be a dentist and then deciding I don't like it. So I graduated dental hygiene school from Ohio State University, and I was accepted into dental school immediately. But I met this wonderful man, and I just knew he was going to propose. Yeah. So I decided I'll wait a year and I'll reapply and go back. And of course, in that year, we got married. And we actually moved to Texas for a period of time and started having children. And I didn't want to go to dental school in Texas. If I was going to be a dentist, it was going to be a Buckeye. So I did.
Oh,
So I did dental hygiene down there. Dentistry is a wonderful field that if you have a family, they can be flexible with you with your hours. So I did dental hygiene down there, and we eventually moved back to Ohio. And I had thought about. I actually looked back into going to dental school, and well, the timing was just never right with having kids. And that was when I started lecturing with dentistry, and then my thought for opening the dental assisting school came along. So now I'll still do dental hygiene. I'll clean teeth on the side for dental offices that might need a sub at the last minute if someone cancels or calls off. But my love and passion, I mean, I work all week on curriculum and getting classes filled for the next class and teaching on Saturdays to teach the students. Our school is just on Saturdays. That way, for individuals that need a job during the week to still pay bills and be able to come into the class, they have that Saturday to do it, and during the week to work on the schooling, but also work at work to bring in an income.
yeah.
Um, so no, that's kind of where I started and how I got to where I am today, and I feel like I'm blessed. I love what I do. I get to pretend like I'm a dentist. We have mannequin heads that we take our drills and drill into the plastic teeth of the mannequin to help the student learn how to place a filling. So I may not be a dentist, but I get to pretend like I am. So the best of all the worlds.
Wow, that's awesome. That was just like the cutest story ever. I love that.
I'm still with my husband. It was worth not going to dental school. So I'm very
Well, it
happy
all
we
worked out. So that's awesome.
are. Yes.
So is this your dream job? You're set on this job?
I would have to say yes. I've been in dentistry for 20 years now, kind of showing my age, but I couldn't imagine doing anything different. I go to work, whether I'm in the dental office or I'm at the school. I love people. I love to just talk to them and see how their day's going and ask them what they do and learn about them. Um, they're coming to you for a service, and when you get to work with them and help them out and help them, just give them positive reinforcement, and they leave and they're happy that they got to see you or that they came to see you, it's gratifying. So And the same goes with the school. When we have individuals come in that, college just wasn't for them, they don't test very good, and we're able to take them and work. Myself and our instructors, we work one-on-one with them, hand in hand, and it's not all test and book work. There's so much more. They're doing it hands-on, what they would in the real world. And to watch them come in on week one with no confidence, and by week three, grasp confidence and really start to love what they're doing and get excited that they're going to have a career, not just a job. It's fabulous. It's so amazing.
That's so
I
awesome.
love what I do. I swear I'm one of the luckiest people in the world.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, it sounds like you love what you do. And that definitely motivates me because I love helping people. So I would definitely love that type of job too.
no, it's my instructors are the same way. I mean, they work full time in the dental field and they still give up their Saturdays to come in. Each one of our
Oh,
schools has about 7 instructors, and I'm so, so blessed to have them, and for our students to have them. They're amazing.
just that warms my heart. So,
Aw.
what type of education do you have? And is a degree necessary to go into this field?
So that's the fun part. To be a dental hygienist or to clean teeth, you do have to have at least an associate's degree, if not a bachelor's degree. So I got a Bachelor of Science degree in dental hygiene in order to be a hygienist. But for dental assistants, and dental assistants are the individuals that you make the office run. You're the dentist right hand person. You're getting them what they need. You're keeping the flow of the day going. You're assisting the dentist. They just couldn't work without you. And for all that a dental assistant does, it amazes me because they just need to have training. They just need to be able to go in and know what they're doing and help the day run productively and flow well. So that's where our program, we're a 10-week program, but we only meet on Saturdays. So the students come in on Saturdays to a real world dental office, and that's where we hold school out of. And they literally, I mean, we're teaching them hands on each one of those weeks, a different section of dentistry that we know they're going to need to know flawlessly in order to go in and rock it in the dental office and make the day go smooth and keep the dentist in line and keep them going and happy. Now I should say there is some book work. We know that people that come to our class usually hate school and they hate books. So we just send a lecture link out each week. Um, that lecture is about 2 to 3 hours, but they can watch it in their time. So instead of coming to class and listening to us lecture for 3 long, boring hours and the student falls asleep and they drift off into space, they can watch a half an hour of this lecture on Monday, 45 minutes on Tuesday, take Wednesday off, and finish it on Thursday. So that lecture, there's some homework that goes along with it that they do as they're watching it. But once they're done, they're ready to come to class, and that lecture's prepared them for what we're going to do that Saturday in class. And I'm telling you, it makes the students excited and they're pumped to come in for the class, but they already know what they're going to do when they come in. So they hit the ground running, hands on, and they feel like assistants from day one. It's really exciting to watch them grow. Yeah.
Very nice and appealing to me. So, wow, that's awesome.
We try to
um,
make it as much like the real world where, we have them get there 15, 20 minutes early, just like you would at a dental office. So they're ready to go
right.
at 8 o'clock. And class on Saturday is only 8 to 3. So if they can give up just 10 Saturdays
Oh,
and they get most
wow.
of the Saturday, they're out at three
Yeah,
o'clock. So it's like a regular work day, 8 to 3
right.
in there. So and because it's in the dental office and we're teaching them things, they kind of get the feel of a real day at the dental office.
That's so nice. I love that. So has COVID affected your schooling at all?
The only thing COVID did was when it first began, we had to go on to digital. Um, we used to, our past classes, bless their hearts, the class was 8 to 5. And the
Oh,
first
wow.
4 hours, yeah, the first 4 hours were lecture, and the last 4 hours were hands-on. So,
Okay.
so COVID was a blessing for us. What it did is essentially it made us learn how to put the lectures online, which was great because that meant that um, with the lectures being online, once we went back to hands-on again, we were able to keep the lectures online. We learned that the students, they just retained so much more with it online because they could watch it when they wanted. They could stop and rewind maybe what was confusing them or they didn't understand. If they needed to pause to use the restroom, they could, or to grab a snack, they could. So it gave it to them to do in their time when they were more attentive. But then since we didn't have lecture on Saturday anymore, it gave us more time to put into giving the students hands-on in the clinic. And that is what they're going to do in the real world as a dental assistant. So it just
Right.
made me much better dental assistants in the long run. It was a blessing for us. It really we are producing better students now with amazing hands-on skills. It's
Wow. I mean, that's awesome. Good for you guys. That's just
and
the
I can
first
also
response I've heard.
Oh, good. Thank you. But and I can also say, it's helped a lot of dental professionals. They learned that during COVID, oh, maybe if I just budget a little bit better, I can stay at home. So the dental field actually lost a lot of dental professionals. So
Wow.
right now, currently, there are tons of job openings as dental assistants. We currently in our school, and this has been long time running, we hold a 98% success rate at getting our students hired. So yeah, I mean, dentistry is such a great field and it's in demand. Their dentists are hiring, but we help them with resume assistance. We help our students. We do mock interviews. I mean, we do a ton with our students to get them prepared for the interview to win the dentist over. But I think right now I've got 23 dentists waiting to get students out of our current classes. So it's such an amazing field and they can move up in it so quickly. But it's in high demand. It's an awesome one to go into right now.
That's so awesome. I mean, I've just always hated anything dental related, but just from hearing you talk, it all just sounds amazing. Your school
Oh,
sounds amazing. Your motivation sounds amazing.
it's a really fun field. I suppose when you love something and you have passion for it, it's easy
Right.
to give that vibe off. But
Right.
it's just such a good field right now, and dentistry just keeps rising to the top within the medical type field too. The body's all connected together, and it starts with the mouth. So it's not just teeth anymore. There's so much more that we do in dentistry than just teeth.
Really? Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, because I've always just thought that dentistry was definitely teeth and it just grossed me out.
There's a lot of teeth, but we do a lot more too.
Yeah, that's awesome. So where did you grow up and were you ever involved in extracurricular activities?
Yes. So I grew up in Bellefontaine, Ohio, which is about an hour northwest of Columbus. Um, and Columbus was kind of Columbus or Dayton was always where we kind of ventured to on the weekends if we wanted something to do. I was pretty active in school back in the day in high school. There was something called Key Club. I don't know. I don't know
Oh
if it's still.
yeah. Yeah.
I was president of our Key Club, of our senior class, and I was a competitive gymnast when I was younger, and then did some cheerleading in high school. Just always hanging out with the friends or the boyfriend at the time, and we just I don't know. We had fun. It was a small little town where everybody knew everybody. So then when I moved to Columbus and went to Ohio State, it was a new experience, but I went there and dormed with my best high school friend and we had a
Oh,
blast. So
that's awesome. Wow. So I know you've talked a lot about your passion and how much you love your job and everything that you do, and that's awesome. But have there been any challenges that you faced that you've had to overcome?
um would say moving to a different state because your license and your certifications don't always transfer. But I think in today's society, it's so easy just for people to be like, they just give up. And, life is only going to be what you make of it. So you have to teach yourself to push and persevere. And I just kept thinking, my mom and my dad, they helped me pay for my dental hygiene school. And I didn't want to, that'd be kind of a slap in the face to let them do that and then me not keep practicing. So
Right. Yeah.
toughed it up and I went through the boards down in Texas, and I can actually say it was the best, one of the best things in my life to have done. I got my license down there and started working as a hygienist, and I worked for the absolute best dentist on the face of the planet. He taught me so much and he trusted me so much and gave me so much, room to do what I wanted to, and that he was really what made my passion grow. Um, so that was one obstacle, just deciding when I went down there, what I wanted to do. Was I going to still do dental hygiene or not? And moving forward and taking another round of the dreaded boards. But then I would say the next struggle was becoming a mother. I loved my children, and there were days I just absolutely hated leaving them, but again, life is only what you make of it. And I'm
Right.
not saying that being a stay-at-home mom is good by any means, but I'm definitely a better mother because I get out of the house. um, just pushing myself to get up every day, and learning a new sense of time management because there's another little body you have to get ready. And nobody says it's easy. I mean, there's days where it's exhausting, but at the end of the day, knowing I can provide for my children and help pay the bills at the house, and it's worth it. And I know I'm setting an amazing example for my children. And now that they're getting older, I have one that's a freshman in college, and just watching him.
Wow. Oh.
Well, he actually got home yesterday from his first year of freshman year of
Oh
college.
my goodness, that's awesome.
Time flies, I tell you. But every ounce of effort you put in is worth it because time does fly. And when you get to the end, and you see your children and those around you pushing because they've watched you do it, and it's so beneficial in the end.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So what kind of skills do you need to go into this field, in your opinion?
I would say patience. You want to have patience. It's good to be a multitasker. So individuals that have served at restaurants, you guys know what I mean. So
Yeah.
I, I think you don't have to know anything about teeth. You don't have to have a pretty smile. You just have, I would say you have to be okay working for someone. The
Gotcha.
dentist has got a schedule, and you have to be scheduled. You have to be willing to finish a task. But just wanting to be around people and better them. And when I say better them, yes, you're bettering their smile, but if you keep that positive attitude when you're at work, you're going to better them because a little piece of that happiness and smile is going to leave with them when they walk out that day. So you need to want to better yourself, better the people around you. But just you want to be a giver, giving of your time, and obviously you're getting paid for what you're doing, but
Right.
you just very scheduled, detail oriented, and multitasker.
Okay. Wow. Awesome. So is there anything that you wish you learned in school that you had to learn later on?
Um, Actually, I remember our instructors telling us over and over again to get out there and job shadow. And, a college student going and taking the time that I had off to go to a dental office and watch what they did just sounded so boring. So I never did
Yeah.
it. Um, and now I'm that instructor that preaches the same things to our
Oh,
students. And I try to explain to them, in school, we're teaching you pieces of a puzzle, if you will, but you don't understand how those pieces of the puzzle fit together until you actually see it in action. So it's so funny because when we have a student that'll go out and job shadow, that following week when they come back to class, they may not have even told us they shadowed. We can tell in clinic that they did. It's just, you can just tell that everything makes more sense to them and they can see how everything fits together. And it just, you just see how it clicks finally for them. And again, it's because we're teaching them each week a little bit more about dentistry, but they're going into an office and they're actually seeing the flow of going and getting the patient out of the waiting room and bringing them into the operatory and checking their health history and doing their blood pressure. They understand better when they would go get the dentist to numb the patient, and just everything clicks all of a sudden for them. So I wish I would have job shadowed. And
Wow,
now
that's
I teach it
awesome.
to our students.
That's funny. So if you could describe yourself in one word, what would you use to describe yourself?
I'm a giver. I'm a giver of my time. I'm a giver of my knowledge. I'm a giver of my love. That's just kind of the purpose I'd say God put me on this planet for, is to give. I want to give of my knowledge so that other people can do what I do. I want to give of my time so I can teach them how to give, to do what I do. So, I'm a giver. I love to give surprises. I love to give gifts. That's me.
That's awesome. So, I just have a fun question for my sake. So, do does teeth like weird you out or anything whenever you work with them?
um, They don't. It's kind of one of
Really?
those things, you put aside and you forget you're in the wet, sometimes bloody oral cavity. I zoom in onto the actual tooth and just think, how can I make this person smile better today? And maybe it's just me because I'm in the dental profession, but I feel like a lot of people do this. I feel like when I talk to someone, the first thing I notice about them is their smile, to the point where sometimes I'm talking to their mouth instead of like looking them in the eyes.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like that's the first thing people see about others. So I love knowing I'm trying to better it. I'm trying to help them with it. I'm trying to keep it, healthy for them. Um, I love it. I don't know. I'm a dental geek, I suppose.
That's awesome. What's one truth that you wish people knew, like in regards to their teeth and their health?
Um, I wish they knew. Yeah, it's actually, something living and viable within your body. It has a nerve, it has a pulp, it has blood flow. So if you don't take care of them, what ends up happening is they can get infected, and that infection starts in the blood. It's going to travel through the rest of your body, and it can make your heart unhealthy. It can end you up in the hospital. But if you don't take care of your teeth and now you have to have one pulled or you have to have a filling placed, you never get that original virgin tooth back. Like I wish I better understood when I was younger how important teeth are. They help you talk, they help you chew, they help give your face form and function. It's so much more than just a tooth, but like I said, that it's living and viable and it can spread infection not just to other teeth in the mouth, but to other parts of the body.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, I didn't know that, so thank you for sharing that information.
We always
So I
joke
just,
around and say only floss the teeth that you want to keep.
oh yeah.
So floss, floss, floss.
So I just have one more question to kind of wrap
Sure.
everything up. So for any youth that may be watching, do you have any sort of advice for them?
Um, if you're younger, brushing and flossing isn't something that your dentist and adults, your parents say just to drive you crazy. It would be just like if your gums are bleeding, that's not normal. Just like if your fingers or your hand were bleeding, you'd be worried about that. But
Right.
for some reason, we don't think that about our mouth. So definitely take care of your teeth, brush and floss at least 2 times a day, once in the morning, once at night. But if you're interested in an amazing career that lets you move up the ladder very quickly, and you love people, detail oriented, multitasker, teeth aren't really that gross. It's the oral cavity isn't what a lot of people think. 10 quick weeks, you could be on your way to an absolutely amazing, amazing in demand career.
That's awesome. Wow. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kindra, for sharing that with us. I definitely
Absolutely.
learned a lot, and I love your passion for your job. It's so inspiring.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
so thank you so much for being on the show today. And thank you to our viewers for watching, and we'll see you next week.